Well, all right. Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here on a hot, summer Sunday night here in New York City with a nice chilly cold beer, huh? Of the root sort. All right. That's what the evening calls for, and I'm here hanging out to do a track versus track. It's time for another track versus track. All right, and I decided I wanted to put two bands that I love against each other. Sometimes sometimes it's good to do two albums by a particular band to go up against it, but sometimes I like to pit artists against one another, right? These are two bands that I absolutely love, that I have a lot of history with, and that is Kiss and AC/DC. I'm putting Kiss's Rock and Roll Over versus AC/DC's Highway to Hell. Okay? Now, yeah, I know, all the Kiss fans are going to be like, well, yeah, Kiss is, all the Kiss songs are better because it's Kiss. And all the AC/DC fans are going to be like, Kiss. Yeah, well, I love both bands. And a lot of you both like both bands, too. A lot of you love both bands. But the thing is that at various times in my life, each of these bands were my favorite band. There was a time when Kiss was my very favorite band. There was a time when AC/DC was my very favorite band. And these bands have meant quite a lot to me at different points in my life, and as have these albums. And I am putting them up against each other. They're going to battle it out. All right? Okay, so let's get the tally sheet ready. Oh, and by the way, I did pop-ups for the records I'm not holding up because I don't have copies here. I have the records. Believe me, I have the records. I've had them since the beginning of time. So I just don't have copies here. Okay, so R&R-O, Rock and Roll Over, Kiss Rock and Roll Over versus Highway. Alright. Okay, and I have my lists here. Okay, so alright. So track number 1 on Rock and Roll Over is I Want You. Yeah, I Want You, and that goes up against track number 1 on Highway to Hell, which is, of course, Highway to Hell. And, right out of the gate, this is tough. Yeah, see, now again, like I said, the Kiss fans are going to be like, well, of course, I Want You because it's Kiss. And the AC/DC fans are going to go, pshaw, Highway to Hell, of course. I love both these bands, and I love both these albums, and man, these two songs, this is fucking crazy. I Want You versus Highway to Hell. Ooh. Now, see, Kiss is like, younger brother rock. AC/DC is older brother rock. When I was younger, I loved Kiss when I was younger, and then I had friends who were my age who started to jump ship for AC/DC. And in the late 70s, I kind of had a chip on my shoulder about AC. Like, fuck AC/DC. All my Kiss friends are leaving Kiss for AC/DC, and I didn't like that. And eventually, I went over to AC/DC too. But, alright. So I guess what I'm saying here is like I Want You is kind of like younger me versus Highway to Hell, which is slightly older me, and oh man, ooh, I'm stalling because I this is one of the toughest matchups I've ever had on a track versus track, believe it or not. Oh God, I guess I have to go Highway to Hell though. Oh God, that by not even a hair, like a half a hair. It's really technically it's a tie, but I had to choose one. I chose Highway to Hell. Okay, that was painful. Okay, so track two on Rock and Roll Over, Kiss Rock and Roll Over is Take Me, and that goes up against track 2 on AC/DC's Highway to Hell, which is Girls Got Rhythm. Once again, two great tracks that I've always loved. But you know what? I'm giving that one to Kiss. Yeah, I'm gonna take. Yeah, I'm going Take Me over Girls Got Rhythm. I really am. Yeah. Why? Now? Why, Paul? Why are you taking Take Me over Girls Got Rhythm? You know, I'm not really sure, because that's the thing about these track versus track videos, is that they're visceral. They're not cerebral. It's just all sort of, it's kind of gut more than anything. I mean, it's the one you prefer, but sometimes when they're really, really close, so you gotta go visceral. You gotta go gut. And, yeah. Take Me. Alright, so track number 3 on Kiss Rock and Roll Over is, Calling Dr. Love. Whew. Man, okay, and that's against track number 3 on AC/DC Highway to Hell, which is Walk All Over You. Well, fuck. I love Calling Dr. Love, but that's easy. Highway to Hell gets that. Walk All Over You, and I really love Calling Dr. Love, one of my favorite songs on the album. Okay, so track number 4 on Rock and Roll Over is Ladies' Room. Yeah. Alright, Ladies' Room, and that goes up against track number 4 on Highway to Hell, which is Touch Too Much. And, yeah, that's really easy. Touch Too Much. You know, now, Rock and Roll Over is one of my favorite Kiss studio albums. Sometimes it's my favorite. I kind of go back and forth between Hotter Than Hell is sometimes my favorite Kiss album. Rock and Roll Over is sometimes my favorite Kiss album. But even when Rock and Roll Over is my favorite Kiss album, Ladies' Room isn't really one of my favorite songs on the album. It's good, but there are better songs. Like Touch Too Much, for instance. And it gets it. Okay, so track number 5 on Rock and Roll Over is the one Peter track. There's one song sung by Peter, and it's this one, Baby Driver. And that goes against track number 5 on Highway to Hell, which is Beating Around the Bush. And that's another easy one. AC/DC gets that one too. Oh, sorry, Kiss. Oh, you Kiss fans are just tearing your hair out. All right. So track number 6 on Rock and Roll Over is Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. And I always loved that one. Always did. I feel like that's one that people probably don't, even Kiss fans, don't really rank as high as other songs on the album. I've always loved this one. Versus track number 6 on Highway to Hell, which is Shot Down in Flames. And, I mean, I have to go AC/DC on that. I love 'Em and Leave 'Em. But Shot Down in Flames? I mean, So that's the thing about these two, with these matchups. You think, well, why do you match these two albums up against each other when this one's clearly going to just completely annihilate? Well, it's not clear to me, because I don't sit here and kind of like go over and go, okay, which songs are going to win. I just go, okay, I love these two albums. They have the same number of tracks. You know, it's kind of cool to have Kiss against AC/DC. I kind of go on that. I don't go through the tracks and go, okay, what's going to win? And I don't remind myself of what's on it, because I want to try to, as much as possible, be in the moment and be surprised by the matchup. So, yeah. So it's, you never know. It's luck of the draw. You never know how it's going to go. So track number 7. Track number 7 on Rock and Roll Over is Mr. Speed. And, man, one of the best, that's one of the best songs on the album. And, you know, let's face it, the Paul Stanley songs are the best songs on the album. Easily. Like, yeah, by far. I mean, Calling Dr. Love is the best Gene song, but outside of that, it's all about the Paul songs. I mean, those are the best songs on this record. Mr. Speed goes up against track number 7 on Highway to Hell, which is Get It Hot. And, you know what? Kiss gets another one finally. Kiss gets, yeah, Mr. Speed. That's kind of like a very popular deep cut. That's one of the most popular Kiss deep cuts. It's a well-loved deep cut. And I well love it. Okay, so track number 8 on Rock and Roll Over is See You in Your Dreams, which is kind of a lesser track. And that goes up against track number 8 on Highway to Hell, which is If You Want Blood. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of If You Want Blood, the song. The album's great. The song, If You Want Blood, it's good, but I wouldn't put it anywhere near in the category of anything on side 1 on this album. But that said, it's way better than See You in Your Dreams, so AC/DC gets that one. Okay. Boy, Kiss is getting, they're getting their heads bashed in here. Okay, so track number 9 on Rock and Roll Over is Hard Luck Woman. Paul Stanley wrote this song purposely in the style of the Rod Stewart hits of the day. Peter sings it because, of course, Peter has the Rod Stewart rasp, and he sounds fucking great singing this song. It's a great song, and Peter kills it. And that goes up against track number 9 on Highway to Hell, which is Love Hungry Man, which reminds me of a TV dinner. I don't know. And that's an easy one. Kiss. Yes, Hard Luck Woman over Love Hungry Man, no problem. Coughing. Oh. If I'm going to be coughing. Okay. And then the last track on Rock and Roll Over, track 10, is Making Love. Oh, man. That is arguably my favorite song on the album. It's kind of between. This album is well bookended. I mean, it's between I Want You and Making Love. Those are the two best songs on the album, easily. And Making Love goes up against number 10 on Highway to Hell, which is Night Prowler. And Night Prowler, of course, has, you know, its own little story long after the fact. I mean, long after Bon was dead, long after this album was old in the mid 80s. You guys remember the whole Night Stalker thing in Night Prowler. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it here, but unfortunately that's what I think of now when I think of this song. Well, aside from Mork and Mindy, but you know, and if you know, you know. All right, so Night Prowler versus Making Love. Kiss. Yeah, I absolutely give that one to Making Love. Making Love, I mean, honestly, Making Love is maybe like a top 5 Kiss song for me. It would beat easily half of the AC/DC songs in this album for me. All right, so what do we have here? Highway to Hell has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Rock and Roll Over has 4. So Highway to Hell won, but not by as much. I mean, for a minute there, it looked like Highway to Hell was just going to just wipe the floor with Rock and Roll Over. You know, Rock and Roll Over did pretty respectfully, I think, and that's good because I love both albums, and I hate to see either of them get destroyed like that. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching the videos. Thank you for everybody watching this video, and thank you for everybody who loves both Kiss and AC/DC, because that's as it should be. And you know, thank you to everybody who has subscribed. But if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you do subscribe, you may want to click the little bell, because you may want notifications. And you might, you know, when you click the bell, you have like choices now. They make it as difficult as possible for you to simply subscribe and get notifications. Click the bell and choose all. All, meaning like when I put up a video, it lets you know that I put up a video. Because isn't that why you subscribe? Yes. Okay. And shout out to Ralph Vieira, aka Dr. Fuck, the originator of the track versus track idea. I salute him. And we'll be seeing you on Thursday. Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Voigt will be back, and we're going to be counting down our favorite singles of 1972. Oh man, shit is about to get real. The 70s. I mean, come on. All right. See you guys soon.